What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cool Fred's Garage. So I'm still playing around with the 73 Impala, getting the rear disc brake conversion kit on there. So what I decided to do is just go ahead and finish test fitting everything. So I'm gonna test fit the rotors, kind of lay out the brake lines to kind of see where they need to be and stuff like that. And then guys, I got a few more other things to do while I'm back there in the back of the car. So like I gotta fix a pinion seal leak, and then I got some control arms that I'm gonna install too. But to keep me from putting stuff together and taking it back apart, I figure I'll go ahead and test fit everything as far as the brake stuff, kind of lay that out, and then I can lay that out, and I kind of know I can make a few marks and take some measurements to, you know, where the brake lines and stuff are gonna be, stuff like that. And then I can take everything apart, and then with all the parts out of there, I can fix the pinion leak, and then I can get then I'll proceed to test fit the control arms, or you know, start installing them. But at some point in time, I want to paint the rear end again and touch up the paint on that. So the plan is to keep going on, and so I believe the last video I left off where I installed the rotors, got the axles back in, got the axle end plate corrected, stuff like that. Got the brackets for the parking. It's like the bracket and the parking brake assembly. That's all one unit. So got that fitting perfect, stuff like that. So got all of that stuff out of the way. So pretty much it just makes sense to go ahead and just put the calipers on there, test fit them, kind of see where they need to be and stuff like that. If I need to shim them, this, that, and the other, kind of. Right now I'm just gonna eyeball it and just kind of put it together, hook up the brake lines and stuff like that, and see what I need to do, what modifications I need to make. Alright, so I didn't set most of the stuff I need on this table here. So pretty much like I explained to you guys in the last video, I'm real big on the installation of the repair instructions. In this case, these are installation instructions. So I pretty much just kind of read through there just to kind of see, you know, just pretty much what they recommend. So I mean, I kind of had an idea of how to put it together, because I've been doing research for a while on this. But in your kit, you're gonna get something similar to this package right here. It may be different for different applications, but it's basically a hardware kit to mount the calipers to the bracket. So they recommend starting off with 2 shims between basically this side of the caliper here in the mounting area on the bracket. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these out of here. So that little silver O-ring goes at the end between the bolt and there on the back side, and then on this front side you put a couple shims, and then you basically will see you'll check your clearance to where your pads go. So that's what I'm about to do right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the brackets, the calipers on the bracket, and then go from there. And then once I do that, I'll go ahead and start installing the fittings for the flex line kit. So pretty much they have their own design line kit that you got to use. So I got the 14-inch kit. So that's the part number right there. So these right here go into the caliper end, these little 90-degree elbows, and then this end here is where your brake line goes. And then on the other side of those fittings, you got this right here. So you also got the choice to fit these. These are like a standard brake line fitting on the other end, but on this end it's the Wilwood fitting for the flex line. So these are fit like mini stock mounting areas and clips and stuff like that. They also come with some clips, and then I got these right here from I believe it's Inline Tube, the company where I got the brake line at. I think that's what, yeah, I believe that was Inline Tube. So basically these right here are some tabs. Pretty much I'm just trying to figure out where the location is going to be. Then I'm going to kind of put some marks on the rear end housing, and then I'm going to come back after I get all this stuff mocked up. That'll be another day. I'm going to come back and weld these tabs in place. So that's the plan. So I'm pretty much going to start with these caliper, get those mounted, and then go from there. Alright, so here we go right here. So I got the caliper on this side test fitted, and I got the pads and everything in there. So I got the pads in there. Pretty much everything was smooth. So initially, when I first put it in, because it says start off with 2 shims in between the bolts right here on this side. So I started off with 2 shims, and I had more space on the outer pad. Well, this is the inner pad, so I had more space right here than over here. So I had to take 1 shim out, and that put my alignment where I needed it to be. So it's good now, it's Gucci. So this side fitting perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and test the other side. Then I'll go ahead and put my line in there. So my plan is for the line of the flex hose to kind of run kind of similar to how this brake line is running right here. And maybe I can still use this tab here for the flex hose. I guess we'll see. So I'm gonna map it out. So basically, flex hose gonna go in here and kind of maybe rest up here, and then it'll probably end right there, and then my brake line is gonna connect somewhere here to over there. So I'm gonna pretty much try to follow the big old ant right there crawling on my exhaust. He's hiding up in the car here. I think that's an ant. Big old joker. But yeah, the plan is to kind of, keep this similar outline for the brake line, and just make a new line and connect it there. So that's the plan. All right, so I went on and test fitted the wheel to make sure there's no clearance issues. I pretty much knew I was good because I've already went through and used some of the templates to kind of that you can get online to kind of determine. So there's enough clearance between the inside of there and the caliper, because the caliper is kind of right there in that area there. So there's nothing gonna hit. So, but it's good to test fit so you don't got no surprises. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. But since I know the wheel is good, I won't have to test fit the wheel on the other side. So I can just test the caliper and then try to map out where the brake line is gonna go. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm putting the fittings in the caliper. So I've already put the one on the passenger side, which is this fitting here. So this side here goes in the caliper, and they recommend that you put some Teflon tape on there around the thread. So I'll show you guys that in a second. And this right here is pretty much, so these ends right here have that bevel end in there. A little tricky to see, but it's like a bevel end in there on this side. Pretty much it's the same end inside of there as right here. So that's how it seals up when you tighten these up on this side right here. So I'm kind of playing around with that now. So I'm about to kind of see where on the rear end is this gonna be located at. Pretty much gonna see how I'm gonna route it. All right, so just to give you guys a sense of how this is gonna go, I mean, my plan, so this is gonna attach to the caliper side. This right here is gonna attach to the brake line that's coming off the T-fitting in the rear of the car. And then they got these little mounting supports that you can get. And I'm gonna put that clip right here in that groove. So I might have to get a hammer or something and essentially bang that down later, but pretty much that's kind of how it's gonna mount up. Something like that. So this right here is the elbow fitting that just got threaded into the back of the caliper. So put your Teflon tape on there and just thread that in, and then the end of the hose is gonna fit on this end right here. Alright, so far I kind of got this thing. It's like, never mind this right here, because that's just the old line. But I am going to use this old line as a template to make my new line. So like, I'm gonna try to like retain like this bracket right here, because it's got a few little tabs already on the rear end. So I'm gonna try to maintain that, and I'm also gonna try to keep the shape flowing all the way up into that T adapter up there. Trying to see if I can get up there to see it, because I'm actually down over here. So up there, actually where it goes to the top of where it meets the T fitting for the rear end, the brake fluid line. So that's why I'm pretty much gonna try to use this line to mock up the new one. So, but pretty much what I was coming up with. So I got it right here. And I'm just going to let it run probably on the top of here for just a little bit. And then I'm probably going to put this somewhere right there. So yeah, the spring pad is up there, but that's kind of where the other one runs, just as long as it's up under there. But it's probably going to be somewhere right in here. So that line will be, it'll be able to rest on the top of the rear end housing. And so I'm going to take my paint marker and just put like a little mark right in here, and then I'll figure out how to measure it. So as long as that right there's got a little bit of flex to it, it's fine. But this right here is probably going to go somewhere right there. Alright, so there we go right there. So this little piece right here is going to get welded somewhere in between those two marks there. So it'll probably be something like that. So I pretty much just put those two marks there, and then at some point in time I'm gonna take a couple measurements. I'm not sure if I'm gonna center it up between this area here and put it there, but I mean, I got a lot of flexibility. So as long as the line is kind of comfortable. This is about as tight as I can get this. I would like it to angle up just a little bit more, but I'm just gonna let it chill out there. So just as long as it's somewhere in between there. I could have went as far as right there, but I just don't want it too tight. and I just want to make sure it's kind of out of the way of some things that's sharp. So something like that should work just perfectly fine. So so pretty much I got this mocked up, and I'm gonna do the other side real quick. All right, so pretty much for the time being, I got all this assortment, this pack of fittings here for the brake line. So I'm just kind of trying to see like which one gonna fit. So this right here fits over that brake line, and also match that up with the fitting from this from the Wilwood kit. And I came up with this right here. So I mean, that's pretty much what I'm gonna need later. But what I decided to do, because I'm gonna just go ahead and pretty much just get where, because the brake line, that's something I can just come back and do later. But as long as I know kind of the proximity of like where that where the line need to go and that bracket need to weld to, that's pretty much all I need from now on. I can actually make that brake line up later. But one thing I got is I got a coat hanger. So what I'm gonna do with this, when I get ready to, I'm gonna mark the factory line about where it's gonna stop. Then I'm also gonna take this coat hanger and kind of bend it in the way that the brake line need to go, and that's gonna help me like get a good measurement on this stuff right here. So that's gonna help me get a good measurement on this, and then I can double check that once I take the other line off the car and kind of get it close, and then I can put my fittings in there, and that's gonna help me out too. But I can actually hold off like on the brake line. Pretty much I did have most of everything here laid out just in case. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick what it takes to put this fitting here in the caliper, and we'll go from there. And I'm probably gonna be wrapping this up in a little bit, so just basically making a little bit of progress at a time. But I'm just trying to get it to the point where I get everything. I got the calipers on there, got that test fitted, all of that stuff is good. I kind of know, like on the passenger side, where my lines are gonna be, you know, how they gonna work and everything like that. So all I gotta do is kind of get the driver's side, get it pretty much get it kind of, I guess you call it, like I say, I guess this would be considered still mocking it up. So kind of get it in the location where it needs to be. All right, so pretty much most of the stuff I did tonight. Just getting a lot of this stuff out of the way. So everything's already test fitted, and then after I get this line over here connected and figure out where that's gonna be, then I can disassemble everything. But and then I can proceed to I gotta change the pinion seal back there, and then I forgot what else I gotta do. I gotta do the pinion seal, and I'm probably gonna do that first, and then I'll start kind of touching up the paint on the housing and stuff like that, and also doing the control arms at the same time. Oh, and I also got to do the upper control arm bushing. So I set those things to the side somewhere. But yeah, I got to do the upper control arm bushing. So, but pretty much, I pretty much got it to the point like when I do get ready to go back together with it, I can just pretty much just fly with it. I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, just real simple, real easy. So I've been taking notes and jotting down like how many shims I need on the left side versus the right side, I got pretty much all my general measurements here down that I need. So taking all my notes and all that stuff right there. So I mean, it's really not that hard to convert these the brakes over. Like as far as the kit, the Wilwood kit, I mean, everything's just, it fits like butter. The only hard thing that I had was the only hard problem I had was putting the brackets, which is like the parking brake assembly in the bracket assembly on the housing of the rear end. I mean, the bolt holes lined up perfect, because I mentioned that it's one of those situations where I had to use a kit from another application. So Quick Performance helped me out with that. They put those extra holes in there for me, but those holes were for slightly smaller bolts, so I had to get those drilled up to the 7/16 and kind of trim them out a little bit to get it to work perfect and still be where to work out and be center on the housing. So that was pretty much the hardest part. Everything else, like the rotor, test fitting the rotors, the calipers, all that stuff is just pretty much cake. It wasn't hard to do. So I'm trying to see what else I need to. So basically, I was gonna try to get a head start on doing the lines and like fabbing those up. I got a tool to bend them in place and all that stuff like that, but I might actually just wait until I'm going back together. So put all that stuff up. So I'm gonna go ahead and fit this, mark that, and then let me see what else I was gonna mention. So got my new brake line. So yeah, last video mentioned that I had a proportioning valve and all that stuff, but the plan is to pretty much just take care of everything in the back and the rear. Get all the suspension stuff, get all that taken care of. Get the back brake lines fabbed up, all that good stuff, and then from there, I'm gonna go up to I'm gonna do the proportion valve, and then I'm gonna do the brake line, which I believe is this 1/4" brake line here. So I got some 1/4" brake line too. It's the 3/16 brake line. So the 1/4" brake line, I'm gonna run that from the proportion valve back to the back. From the new proportion valve rather that I got. So I showed that last video, and then so I'm gonna take care of the back, then I'm gonna go to the proportion valve and the long brake line from the proportion valve back to the back where it connects to the hose for the T-fitting. And finally, I'm gonna come back and I'm probably gonna go ahead and just bleed the brakes, take care of all of that, make sure the brakes are bled solid, and then from there I'm gonna do the parking brake kit, which I got right here. So I'm gonna say the parking brake kit to last. So that's pretty much the plan. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna break down how to seal your Wilwood brake caliper. So basically, you got a couple ends on here. So there's I forgot what it's called. I think it's like a 37-degree concave end or whatever this is right here. So basically, it's kind of similar to it is an A-end fitting, or whatever. But most brakes got some type of fitting. You got like that end right there. So I guess it's like a compression fitting or whatever they call it. So basically, when those two ends meet together, they're not supposed to meet. So basically, this will go on there like that, and once it's tight to the, once it's nice and tight, that's not supposed to leak. Because basically, got inside of this line and this right here has a similar type of fitting. So my camera's probably not picking that up all that good, but so that's that. So that's not supposed to leak when it's tight there. But as far as this other end here, this end right here that threads into the caliper itself, they recommend that you put some Teflon tape on there. So that's what I'm about to do now. So what I'm doing is just trying to make sure that the tape is nice and flat, nice and flush. And I'm gonna tear off just enough of it. So they recommend 1.5, I think, to 2 turns. I think it's like 2, they recommend like 2 turns. So pretty much, and they want you to go in the clockwise, they want you to wrap it around there clockwise. So when you turn it in there, it doesn't unravel. So I'm trying to wrap it so it's not gonna go over the, basically I want the Teflon to be over the opening. So this is probably like, I guess 2.5 times or whatever. So I got it wrapped, then I'm gonna take it out there and put it in the caliper. Alright, so I got my fitting wrapped up, got the Teflon tape on there, and then you can see they put like a little, basically a sticker here. That's just to keep this thing, basically from trash from getting in there. So it seals off that hole to keep trash from getting in there. There's a little bit of sticky residue, so I just kind of wipe that away. Make sure that ain't gonna get in there. And then you'll just thread this in. So you'll thread it in by hand, and then they recommend you take a wrench, which it takes a 7/16 wrench to be able to rotate this socket, this fitting. So they recommend you go 2 or 3 times. So I'm trying to get it located somewhere over that way. So that's a little easier if you do it off the car, because I'm starting to contact the axle housing over here. But so that's kind of about where I want it, somewhere right in there. I don't know if I can get another turn out of it or not. Probably not. So I'm gonna try to back it up just a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of have it angled like that. The other one, the other side, I wasn't able to get it because it actually, since it's on the right side, it's kind of like it's, I guess, going backwards or whatever, or it will go down. But I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it past the mid. I couldn't get it to turn clockwise anymore. So that's why it's sitting straight. But this is kind of angled like this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put my fitting on. My hose rather. And then I'm gonna mark that joker up. Figure out where it's gonna go. Should be somewhere right in there. Alright, so here we go right here. So I got my fitting right here, and I was able to get that little clip down a little bit further on this one. On the other side, so basically you just gotta get where you can hit it with a hammer and get it all the way down on there. So this is a combination of the Wilwood fitting. Basically what this fitting is for is so you can adapt it to your factory style line. But I probably could reuse that line if I can get it to re-bend, but I'm just gonna make new lines. So that makes more sense to me, because the brake lines on this car are over 50 years old. So I'd rather go with new line. So pretty much just gonna connect this together, kind of like I did the other side. And this right here, I'm gonna loosen it up just a little bit so I can kind of figure, so I can know where I want to orientate it at. But basically over here, I'm gonna connect that right there. So I turned my other light down just a little bit so we can see better. So pretty much this fitting right here. So this right here is gonna go right here. Pretty much very similar to the other side. And I wanted to shoot over kind of the top of the rear end housing and pretty much go somewhere like that. So reason for going over the top, you kind of don't really want it down on the bottom, so it could go something like that too, but I kind of want to give my brake line, I guess, an area to me. I think the brake line connecting somewhere right here is cool, so it's kind of out of the way under this spring pocket. So something like that there is probably about where it's going to end up. Whatever I do, I want to try to make it even on both sides. So I'm probably going to measure this and put it somewhere center of this, you know, where this spring is, like right there. So something like that should look pretty cool. But it just needs to be out of the way, everything. So let me see. So I say something about like that should be cool. So I'm just gonna mark this housing on both sides. So something like that there. And then I can basically scuff a little bit of the paint off this rear end with like a grinder and kind of get this position where I want it. And gonna stick that to the housing. And that should be good for the brake line right there. So that right there should be in the money. So that's what we got. All right, so now that I get everything pretty much mocked up, I'm just gonna start disassembling. I'm gonna take the rotors back off. I'm gonna take the calipers back off and just kind of put those in the box to the side. And then the next time I come out here, I can go ahead and get that pinion seal replaced and start working on the suspension stuff. Alright guys, so that's pretty much a wrap for today. Thank you guys for checking out Cool Fred's Garage. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. So next time I'm gonna continue on and just next time I'll probably go ahead and knock out the pinion seal. So I gotta take the differential apart. Basically just gonna pull the carrier out and take the pinion out, do it that way. So I think that's a lot easier versus trying to just blast the yoke off and pop the seal out. Then I gotta worry about that part sticking, the pinion sticking through there. So it'll be easy if I just pull it apart and I can just take a seal tool. I got like some seal drivers and I can actually put that in there without the pinion sticking through. So I'm probably gonna do it that way. It'll probably be a lot faster. And I got new crush collars and all that good stuff. So I'll probably do that and then do the suspension stuff, paint the rear end up. So some of that stuff be going on next time, and then I'll get it reassembled. But today, I felt that I got a lot accomplished. I was able to pretty much test fit everything, verify that everything is fitting like it's supposed to, and everything like that. So, got mapped out where the brake hoses and stuff gonna go. So it's in motion. Progress is being made. So thank you guys again for checking out Cool Fred's Garage. Until next time.